Hi to all of you. Today I am recording the lesson for the day 32. Today we are going to discuss about the drawing of the SF and BM diagrams. That is the construction of the shear force and bending moment diagrams under the different conditions of the loading and for the various beams. Today we will discuss about the SF and BM diagrams for the cantilever beams. Now I am sharing the PPT. So this is the today we will continue the fundamentals about the SF and BM, that is the shear force and bending moment, about the sign conventions and about the some important points to construct the SF and BM diagrams, and we will also construct the shear force and bending moment diagram for the cantilever beam with point loads and also with UDL. Now in the last class we were discussing about the sign convention for the shear force. So if the if this is a section, the if the force is acting downwards to the right of the section, it is considered to be positive. On the other hand also, if the force acts upwards to the left of the section, it is also positive. Then this case will become negative. What is that one? If the shear force acts upwards to the right, it is also negative. And even if the shear force acts downwards to the leftward, it is also becomes negative. So you just remember this one. This is the first one. Then accordingly you can assign to the all other conditions. So if the shear force acts downwards to the right of the section, then it is taken to be positive, and accordingly the other force can be found, the direction of the other forces, the sign for the other shear forces can be found. Now the sign convention for the bending moment. So we know that if the first we'll say this is a bending moment. Here suppose this is a section. At the midpoint this is a section. So this is the rightward and to this is the leftward. So if the here if this is the section, then what is this moment? The moment is, so it is right to rotate the body in the anti-clockwise direction. So if the moment caused by the shear force is anti-clockwise to the right of the section, then it is taken to be positive. And here also similarly, this is a leftward. So reverse of this one. So if it is produces a this is a clockwise moment to the left of the section, it is also positive. So therefore, so you just remember, so to the right of the section, and if the shear force produces anti-clockwise movement, then it is taken to be positive. And one more thing also here. So if you say this is a, so this is a section, this is a section point, and to the right it is producing the clockwise. So to the right clockwise means opposite to this one. So when we have taken this is a positive one, so this is to be negative. So to the rightward acting in the clockwise direction, then it is taken to be negative. Whereas here to the anti-clockwise, to the right of the section, anti-clockwise to the right of the section taken to be positive, whereas the clockwise to the right of the section taken to be negative. And the remaining, so when clockwise to the right negative, similarly the anti-clockwise to the left will become negative also. And when anti-clockwise to the right is positive, then the clockwise to the left also will become positive. So therefore we should remember that a shear force which produces anti-clockwise movement to the right of the section is taken to be positive. And the other also we can take. So if the bending moment produces a sagging moment, so this is called as the sagging moment, then it is taken to be positive. And the other way, if the bending moment produces a hogging, this kind of bending is called a hogging moment. So this is called as a negative bending moment. Sagging is positive and hogging is negative. So sign convention for the bending moment. The bending moment is positive when it is tends to bend the beam such that the top of the surface is concave, that is sagging. And the bending moment is negative when it tends to bend the beam such that its top surface is convex, that is hogging. So you just remember that for the shear force and bending moment. So if we back here, so this is a section, and to the right of the section, if the force acts downwards, it is taken to be positive. Similarly, if we say this force, so here what is happening? That to the right of the section, this downward force is causing a clockwise movement. So if we come to the bending moment, so it will become negative. And whereas to the right, if the force tends to rotate the beam in the anti-clockwise direction, it is taken to be positive. So you just for this condition, so if the force, whenever the force is acting to the right of the section downward, it is taken to be positive. Similarly, this force produces a clockwise movement to the right of the section, and it is taken to be negative. So these two things you have to keep in the mind to decide the sign conventions for the shear force and also for the bending moment. Then accordingly we have to draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Now coming to the shear force diagram. So just now we have completed the basics for the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Generally, when we wanted to construct a shear force diagram, first of all we should know what is the shear force and whether it is positive or negative. Then only, and also For the bending moment diagram, we should know the how to calculate the bending moment and whether it is positive or negative. Then only we could able to draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Now that's why we have studied. So with that we understood the basics of the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Now we'll go into the actual thing, that is the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. So first of all we'll see about the shear force diagram. So what is the shear force diagram? Generally shear force means the diagram which shows the shear force, but where generally if you see along the length of the beam, the amount of the shear force acting, the magnitude of the shear force acting may change from one point to the other point along the length of the beam. Generally, it will not be remaining same, it will change at certain points. So, by seeing the diagram, we can able to know where is the at what point what is the shear force, or at least we can able to understand where is the maximum shear force is acting and where at what point the minimum shear force is acting on the beam and at what point the maximum shear force is acting. So that can be known by just seeing the shear force diagram, and similarly the for the bending moment also. So that is the bending moment diagram. So that means a shear force diagram will show the distribution of the shear force acting along the length of the beam. So if you take the total length of the beam from one end to the other end, it may be a cantilever, or it may be a simply supported beam, or it may be a fixed beam, or any kind of beam. So from one end to the other end. So the shear force diagram will show the distribution of the shear force along the length of the beam, and a graph showing the variation of the shear force along the length of the beam is called the shear force diagram. So the shear force diagram will indicate the distribution of the shear force along the length of the beam. So it will indicate how much quantity of the shear force is acting at what point. And generally at the salient points, the magnitude of shear force acting also can be seen, can be shown, and we can able to see from the shear force diagram. And now coming to the bending moment diagram. So similarly, it is also similar to that of the shear force diagram. So in this case, the bending moment acting along the length of the beam is shown, then that diagram is called as the bending moment diagram. So a bending moment diagram is nothing but a diagram which shows the distribution of the bending moment along the length of the beam. So by just seeing the bending moment diagram of a beam, we can able to assess the points at which the maximum bending moment is occurring and the points at which the minimum bending moment is occurring, or the point at which the zero bending moment in some cases is occurring. So therefore just by seeing the shear force and bending moment diagrams, we can able to assess the amount of the shear force and bending moment along the length at different points, or at least we can able to assess the point on the beam where is the maximum shear force is acting, or the point on the beam where the minimum shear force is acting. And in case of the bending moment diagram also, we can able to locate the points of the maximum and minimum bending moments on the length of the beam. That is the advantage of the construction of the shear force and bending moment diagrams. So bending moment diagram also can be defined as a graph showing the variation of the bending moment along the length of the beam is called as the bending moment diagram. So this shear force diagram is called also termed as SFD, and similarly the bending moment diagram is also called as the BMD. Now these are the steps to be followed to draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams. So the first point is the find the reactions and draw the loading diagram. That is, a beam is supported at one point or at 2 points or 3 points depending on the type of the beam. Now, and some loads are also acting on the beam. It may be point loads, sometimes only a single load, sometimes two loads or more loads, and sometimes a UDL or VDL or a combination of any other force may be acting on the beam. So the beam means it is supported at some points, and also some loads are acting on the beam. So then the first step is we should find out the reactions. So we already defined the reactions. What is reactions? So reaction is support reactions. So the reactions set up at the supports due to the loads acting on the beam are called as the support reactions, and this can be found by using the equation. What is the equation here? Here we should know, because the always the support reaction will be acting upwards with the supporting points, and similarly the loads acting on the beam will always act vertically downwards, and that means it will act always at a right angles to the axis of the beam. So now here we'll call back the equations of the equilibrium, because the beam is under equilibrium condition. Even some forces are acting on it, then we can apply the equations of the equilibrium to the beam. Means the what is the first equation? The algebraic sum of the vertical forces acting on the beam must be equal to 0. That is when the beam is in the equilibrium condition. That is the algebraic sum of the vertical forces means if we take the upward forces are positive and downward forces are negative, then upward forces minus downward forces is equal to 0, or we can say the sum of the upward forces must be equal to the sum of the downward forces. So that is the first equation of the equilibrium. So that the support reactions can be found by the first equation of the equilibrium. a part, we will also get a equation by the first equation of the equilibrium. Next, here what is happening? Draw the loading diagram. So we have to draw the beam, and we have to show the supports and also the loading. If it is a point load, so we have to locate the points on the beam where the point loads are acting, and if it is a UDL, then you have to show the UDL, uh, either maybe entire length, either with a part length depending on the load acting. So that loading diagram we have to draw. The next step, this is the first step. The first step is we have to find the reactions by using the equations of the equilibrium. Here we have to use the two equations. So the what is the first equation is the algebraic sum of the forces acting on the beam must be equal to 0. The second equation is the algebraic sum of the moments of all the forces is equal to 0. So using those two equations, we can able to estimate the reactions. We can able to find the reactions with the supports for the beam. This is the first point. Then we have to draw the loading diagram. The next point is the draw the vertical lines from the key points of the loading diagram. The what are the key points? So we have to draw the vertical lines from the key points. Key points means here the salient points. Generally, sometimes the load may be the point load is acting at a point. That is one of the key point. The second point load is acting at a point. That is another key point. Like that. And sometimes only the UDL is acting. So in this case, so UDL is starting at a point and ending at a point. So the starting point of the UDL, ending point of the UDL, and midpoint of the UDL. These are the silent point like this. Or if it is a point loads, the points where the point loads are acting are also called as the silent points. Like that. So at that points we have to draw the vertical lines from the key points of the loading diagram. The next step is draw the horizontal line equal to the length of the beam. So generally we have to construct the two diagrams here. So one is for the shear force, and second is one for the bending moment. So first we have to draw the first horizontal line equal to the length of the beam, and that is for the shear force. Then show the units of the shear force on the vertical lines. So we have to show the how much shear force is acting at different points on the vertical lines. Then plot the graph showing the shear force variation across the entire length of the beam. So at what point, what is the shear force we have to first locate, we have to identify, then we have to plot. That means we have to join all the points so that graph will show the variation of the shear force across the entire length of the beam. Now coming to the bending moment diagram, then we also indicate the magnitude of bending moment acting at the different salient points. Then we have to plot the graph. We have to join the all the points of the bending moment at the salient points. That is nothing but the graph which shows the variation of the bending moment along the length of the beam. Then the next one is the features of the shear force and bending moment diagram. So this is also very important while constructing the shear force and bending moment diagram. So we have to follow certain things for the construction of the shear force and bending moment diagrams. So here the first one is the bending moment is maximum where the shear force is zero or changes sign. So generally the shear force will cross the zero line. That is, the shear force may be increasing from negative to positive, or it may be decreasing from the positive to negative. So by changing, so what is happening is it is touching the 0 point, or it may be its value may be zero at some point. At that point, it is touching the zero line. That is the, so there the shear force is zero. So the sometimes the shear force is zero, that is zero line, or it changes sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. So that is the point where the shear force is zero, or it changes sign from positive to negative or negative to positive sign. So there the value of the bending moment is maximum. We should know that the bending moment is having the maximum value where the SF is zero or changes sign. Then SF changes suddenly at points where the point loads are acting. So wherever the point loads are acting, the value of the shear force is suddenly changes, suddenly increases, or sometimes it may be decreases depending on the direction of the load acting. So therefore the suddenly the SF changes at the points where the point loads are acting. The next point is the SF graph is a straight horizontal line between the point loads and when there is no UDL. So if there is no UDL and only if we got the point loads, then the shear force is a straight horizontal line between the point loads. This must, you must remember that the shear force is a straight line between the two point loads if there is no UDL, only if it is only a point loads, then the shear force graph is a straight inclined line between the points where UDL is applied. So for the point loads, the shear force is a straight horizontal line, and for the UDL, then the shear force is a straight inclined line. That you must remember. So the sign conventions already we have studied, and anyhow just were for your remembrance, I'm just repeating. The shear force is positive if the section is left up and right down. So if the shear force is acting downwards to the right is positive, or upwards to the left is positive. So next for the negative means in the reverse direction. Very simple. The shear force is negative if the section of the beam is right up and left down. That is if the shear force is acting upwards to the right of the section, or downwards to the left of the section, it is taken to be negative. Next, the bending moment is positive when the beam is sagging. That is, the bending moment is positive when it produces a anti-clockwise movement to the right of the section, and the bending moment is negative when the beam is hogging. That means the bending moment is negative when the movement is clockwise to the right of the section, and accordingly for the other directions we can decide the sign based on this condition. Now we are going to see the shear force and bending moment diagrams for the cantilever beam with point loads. So now this is the first cantilever. The green beam which is supported only left end. So it is a cantilever beam. AB is a cantilever beam where A is the fixed end and B is the free end. Here in the given problem, a point load of W newtons is acting at the free end B. So now this is the cantilever beam with a point load at the free end. So this is the beam given. So this beam is having a length of L and the load at W newtons acting, okay, at the free end. Now we are supposed to construct the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for this beam. So for this generally, so here what is happening is, so we have to consider section. So generally we take a section at any point. So now I am considering a section XX at a distance of the X distance, it's a distance of X meters from the free end, that is the end B. So I have constructed a section XX at a distance of X meters from the free end. Now we are coming to the now, so here we got the silent points. That means here what are the silent points in this beam? Now there are two ends. So generally we are having the two ends for any beam. So the two are the important points of the silent points. So in addition to the 2 points, we also got some other points. But here, because the W is acting at point B only, so and the section we have considered XX. So here point A, point B, and the point XX. These three are the silent points, and we are supposed to find out the the magnitude of the shear force and bending moment at those silent points, and then we have to construct the shear force and bending moment diagrams. For that, now the first thing is the shear force. So the shear force at section XX. So if you consider the section at XX, the shear force at XX, that is Fx is equal to, so this is a this is section. So you see here, so to the right, what is happening? So this W is acting. So to the left, some force. We don't want only we have to consider either to the left or to the right, because to the right is a known force we got. So we are taking the only the rightward forces acting to the section. So this is a section, and we can take only this side. So therefore this side. So we have to consider only either this side, the rightward forces to the section, or either leftward section to the leftward forces to the section. So therefore here we are taking only to the rightward. So now this is a section. So at section XX, if you see to the right of this section, a W force is acting. The amount is W. But how it is acting? It is acting downwards. We know that if a shear force acts downwards, to the right of the section, it is taken to be positive. So therefore, the shear force at xx, that is Fx is equal to plus W. So this is the, so plus W newtons. Next, coming to the bending moment. Now if you see at point xx, you see here, if we take the moment, so here also we can consider the moment of the forces acting either to the right of the section or to the left. So generally, because I am taking here only to the right, because all are known here. Therefore, here if you take here, this is section xx, and only one force is acting, that is W force, and that is also at point B. The distance between the point B and xx is x meters. So the distance also known. Therefore, the moment caused by this force is equal to, we know that what is the moment of the force? The bending moment is nothing but the moment of the force. So moment means the force into perimetric distance. So here the W is the force and x is the perimetric distance between the point B and xx. So W into x is the moment. Now coming to the sign convention, which whether it is positive or negative. So you see here, so this is a xx. For example, you just imagine that the beam is fixed at this point. If the beam is fixed at this point, so now this force will cause some moment. That moment is equal to W into x, and that moment will try to rotate. Here what is happening? So like this. So if it is fixed at this point, if we assume that fixing of the beam is fixed at this point, then it will try to rotate in the clockwise, like this means which one? So it is in the clockwise. So it is in the clockwise direction. So the whenever a moment is acting in clockwise direction to the right of the section, so it is taken to be negative. So therefore, here what is happening is, so here it is, so it is a negative bending moment. The amount of bending moment is equal to W into x. So now the shear force at xx is equal to W newtons, that is equals W, and the bending moment at section xx is equal to minus W into x. So this is general equation. Now by substituting the value of x, then we can able to know the either the shear force or bending moment at any point along the length of the beam. For example, here we take the case of the shear force at point A. The shear force at point A, Fa is equal to, now here we can say that the Fx is equal to W, only W, and we are not having any external. So that means this W will be remaining constant unless a another shear force or another point load or UDL is acting. So this will continue the same value unless a another point load or the UDL is acting. But if you see the beam, we got only one force and no other force there, no other point load or UDL or any other load is acting. Therefore, the shear force will remain constant. So, and for the time being, the FEM is the shear force at point A also equal to W. So already we got the, so the shear force we know that, so that point B that will consider later on. So the shear force at point A, Fa is equal to W newtons. So the generally the shear force at a point can be shown as F suffix that point. Fx means the shear force at point X. Fa means the shear force at point A. Similarly for the bending moment, capital M followed by the some suffix letter. Ma means the bending moment at point A. Mx means the bending moment at point X. So here Fa is equal to plus W newtons. Similarly, the bending moment Ma is equal to, here what is happening? Ma means, so here at point A, what is the length of the beam? Generally, the general equation is minus W into X. Here, in this case, at point A means, here what is happening? So here, up to here it is X. Here what is happening? The X is becoming L. So when, because the X is counted from point B, so up to here it is X. When we are taking the point A, what is happening at point A means the X is equal to L. So therefore the bending moment becomes minus W into L, because the general equation is minus W into X, where X is equal to L. Therefore the bending moment at point A is equal to minus W into L. So here what is happening is, and now coming to the B, point B generally. So here at point B means what? The X is actually the load is acting at point B only, and we have considered the section at a distance of X from point B only. So therefore here the X value is becoming 0 here. So therefore here also we can found. So the shear force is equal to same thing. The shear force will remain the same, that is plus W. But the bending moment is what? Minus W into X. Here minus W into 0. So this is becoming minus W into 0. This is equal to 0. Therefore the bending moment at the point B is equal to 0 value. So we know now they are the certain points are the A, B and C. A, B and X. That is X point, that is the point C. XX is the point C. So now we got the values of the shear forces and bending moments at all the 3 points. Then now we can plot the shear force and bending moment diagram. So here at point B, the shear force is equal to plus W, and it will remain constant, and it also it is, and if we at point X is also same thing, that is W, and at point A also its value is equal to plus W. Therefore, so we have to join with a rectangle. So this is the shear force acting throughout the length. So the throughout the length it is same, and its value is equal to plus W newtons. This is the shear force diagram. Now coming to the bending. Now here what is happening is, so this is the loading action. This is loading diagram. Then we have to draw the vertical lines. So we got three sides. This is point A, point B, and this is point X. Like this, we have to draw three vertical lines. Then we have to draw a first horizontal line. So this is for the shear force diagram. So this is the first horizontal. This is zero line for the shear force, and here at point B and at point A and point X is equal to plus W. So therefore we have to join with a rectangle. So this is a shear force. This white diagram will represent the shear force diagram. Now coming to the bending moment. So now this is the zero line. So this is the zero line for the bending moment. We have to draw the vertical lines at A, B, C here also. Now coming to the point B, the bending moment value is equal to 0 because the force is acting at point B only. Now at x is equal to, it is minus W into x, some value x, so is this value. Because why it is minus? Because the force is acting rightwards, downwards to the right of the section, and it is causing a clockwise movement. Therefore, it is a clockwise to the right, to the right of the section. So therefore, it is a negative bending moment diagram. That's why. So minus W into x here. Now coming to the point A, the value of the bending moment is equal to minus W into L. Here, the W into L is more than the W into X value. Therefore, so this is the W into L value, and here it is W into X value, and both are negative. So this hatched lines, triangular shape, will show the bending moment diagram. So this is a negative bending moment diagram. So this is a positive. Here the shear force is positive throughout the length of the beam, and here the bending moment is negative throughout the length of the beam. So this is the shear force diagram, and this is the bending moment diagram for the cantilever beam. And so just this is the derivation and a model calculation for the cantilever beam, that is SF and BM diagrams for the cantilever beam. And we will solve a problem on the shear force. We will solve a problem on the cantilever and construct a shear force and bending moment diagram, but due to the time constraint, that we will take up in the next class. And so far we have discussed about the sign conventions and also the steps to construct the shear force and bending moment diagrams, and we also constructed a shear force and bending moment diagrams for the cantilever beam. So this is about the today's class, and today we are stopping at this point, and remaining thing we will discuss in the next class. So thank you all of you.